What's up, Wikimaniacs? Happy National Caesar Salad Day. Nothing else important today. Reddit on Wiki starts now.
Therapy.
I'm not reading.
It's
What's going on, Wikimaniacs? Welcome back to another episode of Am I the Asshole Fridays. My name's Josh, your host today. Joined with my two American brothers. Canadian.
We wish.
I was going to say. John and Sean, what's up, boys?
Eagle sounds. Caw, caw, caw.
No. Although.
I do with a chicken Caesar salad, I will say
That does sound good.
Maybe more so than America as a country itself, to be quite honest.
So I'm just now looking at like National Day of what it is today. And there's two other ones I should have probably gone with, but I didn't scroll down far enough.
I fuck with a Caesar salad though. But okay, what are the other 2 days?
So this is the one I definitely should have gone for is Filipino-American Friendship Day.
Wow. You would pick the chicken Caesar over that, huh?
Over that.
That's crazy, Josh.
Really,
Well,
Josh?
to be fair, it's this website's fault for listing it 8th overall or 9th, whatever it
Oh,
is.
now you're blaming a website when, you could have picked that yourself.
You scroll up author Josh Shell.
Well, I don't remember doing this.
Feel like we're the ones that got stabbed, then you pick Caesar, huh? Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
right.
A2
brute.
Wow.
Mhm.
It's a multi-level joke.
yeah.
Triple entendre.
And then it's National Barbecue Spare Ribs Day. So for my Texas brothers.
Ooh,
Hell yeah.
speaking of barbecue, Josh, man, I wish you're here in a couple weeks, brother.
Well, as we're recording, it's Canada Day tomorrow. Might do some spare
Oh.
ribs or something.
Remind you of the good ones.
Boys, let's hop into the first story today. I've got 5 here and then a bonus one if we need it. And then 2 more on the Patreon side. So if you want to
Sounds
check that out and love what we do, subscribe to the Patreon at patreon.com/Cultivate Podcast Network. You get 2 bonus stories on Fridays, 1 on Mondays, and then bonus episodes throughout the week. Go check it out. With that being said, first one here, cross-posted by our goat, Writing Giraffe.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
This one, based on Reddit's original reaction to the post, our subreddit's reaction to the post, this could be a controversial one.
Ooh, starting off hot.
Yeah, starting off hot.
Ooh.
So, this one's titled, Am I the Asshole for Asking My Boyfriend to Kick Out His Friends When I Get Home?
Ooh, it depends. Like, let's say they just got home from work and they wanted to have let's say, they had a long shift, want to get some rest that's quiet. That part is understandable. But if it's one of those things where, oh, hey, we haven't had any social gatherings in forever and my friends are just here chilling, but I don't want you to having friends, then I could see there could be issues there of like control or something.
I'll just go not the asshole.
Okay.
I'm scared. You said it's controversial, so I don't know where this will go.
It's definitely more well, we'll get into it and then we'll talk about it because there is probably a decent amount to talk about on this one.
Okay.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, spoilers, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
All right.
But all right, let's hop into it. This is such a stupid thing to even talk about, but whatever. Basically, my boyfriend Dan, 27 male, and I, 25 female, both work full time. Dan and his friends, 4 guys, all in their late 20s, work from home. And they like to meet up and hang out when they work, which is great. I'm happy for them. They'll rotate between their houses, meeting up for lunch and kind of extending that into a post-work hangout. The thing is, all of his friends live alone, and Dan and I live together. One of my biggest pet peeves is having random people in my house when I get home from work. I hate it so much. I just want to take my shoes off and relax, and I can't do that if there's 4 dudes that I don't really know in my living room and kitchen. I spoke to Dan about potentially removing our house from the rotation, or at least taking his friends out around the time I get home. He said that was controlling, which maybe it is. He also said it wouldn't be fair for them to host every week and for him to just skate by. I get that, I do, but I feel like I'm a variable that isn't being accounted for here. Honestly, I'm conflicted here. So I figured I'd ask, am I an asshole for not wanting my boyfriend's friends over when I get home?
I get where OP's coming from, to be honest. because that's also their place. They're also paying for rent, presumably. And they asked, and to me, okay, how I would approach the situation is if it's something that they've done for like the longest time, like the boyfriend in this scenario, and they do have an agreement that there's a rotating hosting duties or hosting duties between the friends. I would say like, hey, there are times where I'm like, okay, maybe let's trade off. Like, maybe when it's my turn, like, hey, maybe you can, let me pay for you to like hang out somewhere real quick, or do something else, do an activity, or or like the boyfriend can just work something out. Like, hey, can I trade weeks with one of the buddies? Like, let me just take this week while, let's say, my girlfriend is still at work or something. Like, there's a workaround that you can do to make sure that both parties are happy. I think a compromise should be had in this situation. They just need to talk it out, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what she was like hinting at. Like, and she spoke to him about potentially removing it from the rotation, or at least taking them out when she get like around the time she gets home, which I think is a starter. I don't think that's controlling. I think that's the start of a conversation where you.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
that was a jump from his end to be like, this is controlling. Like, no, it's negotiating boundaries in your household. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think whenever she proposed two different options, it's hard to say that's controlling when there were options and you didn't even submit one. So
because it's not like she's saying don't hang out with your friends. She's just saying,
I think she's fine. If anything, I would have just been like, look, when I get home, y'all need to fucking go in the office or go in some other room. I'm trying to fucking get comfortable here.
Yeah.
Like, John and other people have mentioned like they like walking around in like their boxers or their underwear or whatever. So maybe OP wants to do that after work. That's how they're comfortable walking around their house. And they're like, well, now I can't because
braless.
There's 4 random men here. So it's like, all right, now I'm affecting the way I have to live my life. Just due to, y'all's rotation. Y'all can eat lunch together. Great. Y'all could work together. Great. But when I get home, I want to fucking get naked.
Chill.
I can't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm failing to see the controversy behind this. Like, I think what OP is doing is very reasonable.
Yeah, I don't think this is a crazy ask. There is some edits with some more information from some of the questions OP saw in the comments. So, point 1, the guys come over once a week, usually, sometimes twice a week. They come over at lunchish, and then they're usually here until 7 p.m. or so. And I get home at 5:30ish. So, I don't even think it's that like crazy to be like, because they've spent at that point
basically a whole ass shift together,
5.5 hours together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that's a good amount of time. I mean, yeah. Anyway, point 2, I do not want or expect my boyfriend to stop hanging out with his friends, nor am I expecting him to break up with me for this. I didn't lecture or yell at him or anything. We had a regular conversation about this. Point 3, the guys themselves are not creepy or weird or anything. I'm just tired after work and I'd like to be able to unwind. And part of that is the comfort of knowing I don't have guests around. Point 4, I can't avoid them that much. Our apartment is an open floor plan and the only bathroom is in our bedroom. So there's always some level of interaction.
Yeah. I'm completely with OP here. If I was, to me, I thought the optics of the hanging out was like post work, like, they stay there till like wee hours of the night. So I'm just like, all right, fucking make some sort of compromise. But this, like, y'all been hanging out for like damn near 7 hours already. Yeah. If you want to keep the party going for those 2.5 hours that y'all want to like do something extra, go fucking downstairs. If you have one of those apartments that has, lobbies or hangout spots, just finish the day over there. Just, your girlfriend's tired, buddy. And she's paying presumably like part of that share of that household. Let her enjoy her own damn house.
I feel like it wouldn't be hard to just be like, all right, we eat lunch, we work for a couple hours, maybe around 4:30, we head to a coffee shop, we get a coffee, finish our day there. That doesn't seem crazy.
And like, I've also thought about this as like, if this is happening every day of the week, are you also putting in time to hang out with your girlfriend? You know what I mean? Like after work, it's like nice to sit down with your significant other and just kind of relax together.
Good point.
Not that it's that big of a deal either. If OP's not complaining about that in here at all, I'm just thinking outside of it as well, they should, keep that in mind.
So this hangout is like a weekly thing rotating, or it's like every other day they switch to another person's house?
That's what it seems to be.
Also, like every day they're basically hanging out.
Every day they work until 7, it sounds like.
Well,
Right.
every day they hang out until 7. They probably work until 5 or something like that, and then hang out for another 2.5 hours, 2 hours.
Damn, y'all can't get enough of each other. Shit. I mean, good for y'all. Like you guys have good friendship. Like
Yeah.
that, but I don't think it's fair to say that your girlfriend's being controlling in this scenario. She sounds like a normal ass adult that's tired from.
I mean,
the
there
daily
may
grind.
be a reason why he's the only one with a girlfriend. You know what I mean? Just
Well,
like timing wise, it's just like the fact that none of them, well, maybe all of them would be down too and be like, oh, I get it. Yeah, that makes sense. You live with another person.
yeah.
But just the fact that all of them, I assume they're like, their friend, where the slightest hint of a change in plan is like, whoa, you can't control me.
Mm.
Yeah. I honestly, I just think this is a conversation of boundaries between partners that are living together. And I don't think it's that big of a deal to ask your partner to be like, hey, just, for the last 2 hours of your hangout, just go somewhere else for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
She sounds chill about it too, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, she
there
doesn't
was
sound
no escalation at all, and
pissed or
he's the
anything
one
like
that took
that,
it. He's the one that took it 0 to 100 so fast.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're controlling. Hey, brother, she's just trying to have a conversation with you.
Yeah. So this is where it comes to the controversial part, because the little tag at the top says asshole.
Whoa.
Really?
However, in the comments, it was very split. So I'll read a couple comments here that kind of define where everyone's coming from. So Royally Oak says, you're the asshole. Having people over 1 day a week is not too much to ask of a partner. It's his house too. Instead of becoming that person to his colleagues, create your own workaround. Run an errand that day, create your own outing. These are the kinds of compromises you make when you share a home with someone.
Yeah, but what compromise have they made?
Yeah. That's why I was
None.
making suggestions in the beginning. I'm like, hey, talk it out and fucking hook your partner up with like, hey, I got you on like a spa day or like a coffee. Please, can I just hang out with buddies? Like, I think that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. I also just
That's
don't think
so
it's that big of a
dumb.
deal for them to leave for 2 hours. Like, it's literally
Yeah.
2 hours or just like that night, not hanging out till 7. You know what I mean? Like when we're at our house, we're here until 5 and then everyone has to go home. We can hang out the other nights of the week. I don't think it's that big of a deal. To which Weak Elephant responded to that, said, but coming home to a crowd after a long day can be really draining, which is what John said earlier.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then Cly's Owl said, no assholes here. You aren't being controlling by wanting your own space. And that is a really harsh characterization. And I would 100% agree with you if it was every day, but it's just once a week. Your boyfriend does live there too, and he wants his friends over once a week. He should be allowed to have them over. If you're anticipating it, you can make a plan or be a little uncomfortable for 1 day. If you want to compromise, you could ask for once every 2 weeks, but it is a little unreasonable to expect him to never have his friends over when you're there. Edit to add, I didn't think about the fact that he is not really spending time with you during the week. If he's either at your place with his friends or at one of his friends' places, it might be a good idea to try and schedule some alone time together too. At the end of the day, I don't think it's like it's splitting hairs whether he's an asshole or she's an asshole. At the end of the day, I don't think right off the bat anyone is. I think this is just I think she's not asking for anything crazy. It's like
No.
he spends time with his friends.
I don't know. I think he kind of sucks for being like, whoa,
Well, yeah,
That escalation was a little
you're
too quick.
controlling.
You're controlling. It's
All
crazy.
right, brother. I think
Yeah.
Reddit is dead wrong on this one. in
I
my
think so
opinion.
too. Our subreddit was a little bit more reasonable. Give me 1 second. I'll look for the top one here. Okay, so 7 Umbrella said, hang on, they rotate through 4 different houses, but they are at OP's house once or twice a week. These guys are hanging out for 7+ hours every single day, and Dan isn't willing to cut the hangout time from 7 hours to 5 hours. I agree with the people saying that OP should move out. I think she should also break up. Can you see your bros for 5 hours instead of 7 1 day a week is such a reasonable compromise.
All right. Chill on the breakup on this one. This is that okay. That's
our
another
subreddit is
escalation.
on the other side of things. Where it's just like, no, you should immediately break up with this person. I don't know if it's either right at the bat. It depends on, when you come back to this conversation, how he responds to that. But at the end of the day, I think he is the asshole for being like, you're controlling when she's only trying to have a conversation and compromise on the hangout with you. But I don't know if that immediately results in a breakup. I think we're getting a little out of hand on the other side there too.
Yeah.
So everyone's going to hate us on this take. But that's, I think where I stand is
I just can't believe that they were like, yeah, you suck.
OP, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see it at all.
No, I don't either.
Especially because it wasn't like, yeah, his fucking bitch ass fucking friends invaded my space. It was just like, yeah, I'd really like to just be comfortable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is that a crazy ask? I don't think so.
No. And it's like, yeah, can you scale back one of your 7-hour-a-day hangouts to 5? Also not a crazy
Isn't
ask.
too crazy of an ask. Yeah.
Or just go somewhere else.
Or that, yeah. It
Because
literally
you're probably done working, like Josh said, at 5.
Yeah. Go out for
Get a-
dinner.
Yeah, get a beer, get a dinner, get a coffee.
Something like that. Yeah. So I don't know. I'd love to hear everyone's takes in the comments. Because I at the end of the day, I don't think this is that big of a deal as it turned out to be on Reddit, but that's classic Reddit. You know what I mean?
It's about to be 3 paragraphs of you 3 guys are fucking blind idiots. Can't you see how controlling she really is?
All right, let's move on to the next one here. Posted by Outrageous Fly 4814. This one was actually posted on r/Ask Men Advice,
Uh-oh.
but it's phrased in a way that could be like it's an "Am I the asshole?"-esque question. This title.
Okay.
So the title is "Am I being too overprotective?"
Given the fact that it's on this subreddit, I'll say asshole.
Okay.
I have not seen a real positive, post in these types of subreddits, so I'm probably leaning in with Sean here a little bit.
I will say I don't go on that subreddit too often. And then the ones we get sent to us are obviously the worst of the worst. So
That's true. Maybe I should. Yeah.
yeah, it might not actually be a terrible subreddit. Just
Yeah.
it's based on what we've seen. You know what I mean?
But also, dudes on Reddit can get pretty unhinged. They don't necessarily have the best reputation. So
yeah, some
Mhm.
for sure.
for sure.
All right. So I am a big dude, 6'5", 360 pounds, dating a very small girl, 5'3", 110-ish pounds. I can't do the conversions for anyone metric, but
Big and small.
big and small, yes. Here's the thing. We are complete opposites in almost every way. She's extremely sociable and loves talking to people. I'm a bit more reserved and can come off as serious. We've run into an issue of me being completely overprotective of her, and now her friends are getting annoyed at me. It started because I realized that when I'm not around and my girl's on her own, she's completely vulnerable. So I
Okay.
made her take pepper spray out and taught her how to use it. I told her that I don't want her making male friends while she's out.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Here's
Here we
the
go.
thing. She likes making friends no matter who, and if I'm with her, I naturally deter any dudes away from her. If not, it could go badly for her. Me and her friends have never clicked. I think they're a bad influence on her, but that's another story. Anyway, they were planning a night out and wanted to go to this dodgy place, which is known for being dangerous. So I told my girl she's not allowed to go there. I know it's yeah, it's tough.
The allowed part is wild.
Yeah,
Not
there's a
one
lot of
good thing about this guy so far.
Oh, besides teaching how to use pepper spray, I give him that. That's the only thing so far that I've
sure.
okay with.
The made her take it is
Yeah, the maid part is.
yeah. Like if you taught her how to use it and she wanted it, that's one thing. But
I'm always a proponent for bringing something to protect you.
for sure, yeah. I'm not saying that's a terrible idea. I'm just the way he's phrasing this is like she
Mhm.
didn't have a choice in the matter. Dustin would be waving his flag, you know.
Oh, red.
I know it's a bad choice of words, and she's allowed to do whatever she wants.
Sure, it doesn't sound like it.
No, but I wasn't expecting the reaction from her friends to be calling me an overprotective asshole. For the
Yeah.
record, my girlfriend just said okay and was taken back by their reactions. Her one friend texted her how it's wrong of me to keep telling her what to do and that we should break up. My girlfriend showed me the message and was upset. She's a grown woman and can do whatever she wants, but I feel like it's my job to keep her safe. But am I being overly protective? She listens to me and doesn't mind it.
Yes. Look, I get it, man.
I wouldn't even call it protective. It's controlling.
It's controlling, right? I get it. You know, like the world is very dangerous right now, and there's a lot of terrible people who wants to do terrible things to people, men, women, and everyone else in between alike. I think you're just coming at this in a wrong way. Like, it's good. It's good that you have some sort of instincts of like protecting your partner, which is I think most of us do have in some capacity. But you're trying to control every single aspect of her life at this point, where she goes, who she can talk to, It sounds like you want to isolate her from her friends, basically, because you don't
Yeah.
approve of the way, how she interacts with them. Your girlfriend is a social butterfly. That's how she is. That's how she likes to interact with people. Maybe she doesn't have as jaded of a view of a world than you do, which is, I'm glad some people are like that, because sometimes I wish I was aloof when it comes to things. But you're just being overbearing right now, and it's, I can see your girlfriend distancing away from you just because like it sounds like you can be a little too much, to be honest.
Yeah, it sounds like this is definitely beginning phases of like isolating you away from your friends and family. Don't love that. And I don't know. A lot of made her, a lot of you're not allowed, and then a lot of, well, I know that she's a grown woman. She could do whatever she wants, but
Can
she does listen to me.
Yeah. Which is
At
like,
all costs. Nothing. She doesn't do anything I say not to do. So it's just, I don't know. It gives a lot of controlling vibes. The whole fucking thing that he wrote there is not good, and further cements this subreddit probably sucks ass.
I will say the comments were giving me positive notes on the subreddit.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I would have expected all of them to be like, gotta keep them in check.
No, it was
That's
actually
Twitter.
the opposite.
Don't be a bitch. Don't be a cuck beta.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. It's like going off of that. It's like she is a grown woman. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like she is an adult who's made it this far in life. Clearly, if there has been no issues, she knows how to keep herself safe. She's going with a group of friends, which usually helps as well. It's weird and controlling. And then like you can't make any male friends when you go out. It's like,
That's
wild. Weird.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't feel like a safety thing anymore.
It's
Feels
not.
like
You just want to control every aspect of what she, does socially.
Yeah. So I agree. I think overprotective, controlling is more the word I'd use rather than overprotective, because I think overprotective is a different connotation to me.
Overprotective would be like, are you sure you want to go there? It's kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
As opposed to, you're not allowed to fucking go there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, it's the wording. It's like,
It's a different vibe. For
hey, I've
sure.
heard some bad places about that spot. Like, if you really want to go,
I've heard this place close by is safer.
Or you can just be like, hey, just for my sake of like sense of peace, do you mind if I drop you off and then pick you back up afterward, just so I know that you're going to be safe?
or like let's have a if she is worried or anything like that, it's like let's have an exit strategy for if you feel unsafe in a certain area or something like that. It's like there are ways to go about this where it's like you're being cautious, not controlling. And this is, you are being controlling. So, Serene Ranger 312 has the tag man. So this is a man. Says, you're a red flag, bud. She's a grown woman. She could do whatever she wants. When it comes to what her friends say, why do you keep making her do things? To which OP responded, I make her take pepper spray because I do it for her safety. And then Serene Ranger responds and says, your opinion of her safety, you mean? Since you're projecting your insecurities onto her and she's a grown woman and can do whatever she wants anyway. You said you're complete opposite of a little person. You said it's your job to protect her. You make her do stuff and you tell her she can't do stuff. You think her friends who predate your relationship are a, quote, bad influence. These are all red flags. Pretty soon this girl isn't going to have anyone but you around protecting her. And I think that's the way you'd like it. Also a red flag. So many other comments reflecting that. So
okay.
A positive
There's hope.
look on the
Sean.
subreddit for that.
Yeah, all right.
Brother,
I
you're
didn't go
like
into-
you buy like 6'5", 300. You protecting you should be protecting quarterbacks, buddy.
Yeah, or celebrities.
Or celebrities.
We'd
right.
love to have you here in Houston.
Yeah.
We have 0 offensive linemen.
But yeah, so I didn't go to the controversial comments because I don't think I'd want to.
Yeah, that's just asking for trouble at this point.
But the top ones were all good stuff.
So far,
good.
Not bad.
the glimmer of
I
hope
would
there,
say
Sean.
the controversial comments would probably reaffirm my opinions on that subject.
Probably. But that's
Pretty
also the
quickly.
worst of the worst. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But they're there.
They are there. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is a best of Redditor update posted by Fell Pros, and title is Am I the asshole for leaving my best friend's surprise party early because it felt more like a roast?
Oh,
Wait, is OP the one getting roasted or is the friend getting roasted?
It doesn't say.
Because I'm like, if you're getting roasted, then I would leave. I would leave too. But if your friend's getting roasted, well, hold on, you don't got their back, bro. You ain't beating people up for fucking roasting on your friend.
True. Well, maybe she left with her friend.
Oh, maybe.
Doesn't say that, but
doubtful.
We shall see, I guess.
I'll say not the asshole.
okay.
Sometimes you just don't want to be in a roast type energy.
That's fair. I've never been to a roast.
I've seen them though.
Yeah, I've seen him too.
I think I'd be good at one, but I'd also feel bad.
You would be good at one?
I think so. Maybe.
My skin is not thick enough to endure
I don't say I
a
have
roasting
no
of
self-esteem,
myself.
So what the fuck?
Oh, I could definitely be a roasty. Like I could take that.
Oh no, the very first incident of someone insulting me, I'd be like, I
You'd be Michael
think
Scott.
I'm done.
Always reminds me of those shirts like, don't yell at me or I'll come.
Yeah. Minus the cum part. They're saying that I'm the one always talking about cum. I'm like, this is crazy that y'all think that. It's clearly John.
Actually, it's been you lately, to be honest.
I'll be saying, they'll be arriving, but I'll use the other word. It'll be like, dude, Sean can't fucking stop talking about it.
I mean, Fred just did an edit.
Dude, they keep editing me, and I'm like, wait, John was doing the exact same shit, if not more, at the end of this episode. This is fucked up.
You said, I'm coming. I'm coming. Like 3 times in a row.
And there's going to be 0 clips of that, is what pisses me off.
All right. So I, 24 female, have this best friend, Jenna, 24 female. And we've been close since high school. Like, held my hair while I threw up in a Denny's bathroom type of friend. Crazy specific.
Good friend. Been there.
That sounded like a fun time, to be honest. Getting a moons over hammy after getting fucked up.
Ooh.
That sounds good.
Eggs Benny. That's what I go for.
Ooh.
I honestly love her. I really do. But she can be a lot. So anyway, she threw this little surprise party for me last weekend. My birthday was last Tuesday, but she insisted on celebrating Friday. She told me to dress cute and made it sound like it was going to be this wholesome wine and charcuterie night with girls. Sounds great, right? Well, I show up in this cute white dress I literally bought for this occasion. Hair curled, nails done, all that. I walk in and they yell surprise, but not in a we love you way. It was a theme party. The theme? Dress like the birthday girl and roast her. I kid you not. Everyone was wearing versions of my go-to outfits.
I think I would leave immediately. I'd be like, all right, not the type of energy I'm into, guys. You guys have fun talking shit behind my back, I guess, because I'm not going to sit here and take it.
I'd be like that Grandpa Simpson gif where he just walks in the bar and
turns
then he
around.
immediately turns around. That'd be me.
Everyone was wearing a different version of my go-to outfits. Messy bun, iced coffee cups, fake nails, bad parking tickets taped to their bags. Brackets, okay, they kind of got me on that one. But then they started doing fake toasts that were just jabs. Something like, here's to OP, who always has a 10-step skincare routine, but still wakes up looking tired. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
To OP, who thinks astrology is a personality trait. To OP, who ghosted her gym membership but never forgets to DoorDash McFlurries at 2 a.m. Some of it was funny, I'll admit, but after 20 minutes, it just got mean. I kept smiling through it like, haha, good one.
20 minutes is tough. I'm not going to lie to you. I would have walked out again, first joke. I would have been like, all right.
Like maybe if we had one person who did like a 5-minute.
The thing about a roast is they insult, well, they know for sure.
Yeah.
But they insult the main subject. But before they do that, they insult everybody else in the room.
Yes.
Yep.
So if it's just 20 minutes straight, that is tough. I hate to say it.
This wasn't a roast with love. It was just people clowning on me for sport.
Yeah.
So after pretending to go to the bathroom, I grabbed my keys, quietly told Jenna, I think I'm done for the night, and left. I didn't cause a scene. I didn't cry. I just left. I texted her later that I appreciated the effort, but it felt more like I was the butt of the joke, not the guest of honor. Now Jenna's mad and saying I embarrassed her and that it was just jokes and I'm being too sensitive. A few of the others messaged me saying they thought I overreacted and that it was all in fun, but like, isn't the birthday supposed to feel good? Not like a Comedy Central special.
I feel you.
So tell me, am I the asshole for walking out of my own roast disguised as a birthday party?
No.
Easy no for me.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think, if this was the reaction of everybody, I would be like, I don't think I want to be friends at all anymore, if I'm being quite honest. Like, it's my birthday. We're supposed to do something I want to do.
Mhm.
If I don't want to get roasted for fucking another 20 minutes or so, then yeah, I deserve not to be roasted for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. How friendly are they if,
Well, it's like, how much do you know your friend if you thought this was going to be a good idea?
that too. It's just like, all right, well, like if I was part of that friend group and then we're like, oh, where's OP? Where's OP? OP left. Oh, OP didn't like the vibe. Oh, we fucked up.
Yeah.
That would be that should be the,
reaction.
The reaction of the party. The fact that so many of them were like, oh my God, what a bitch.
Yeah.
Excuse.
Are you really
Absolutely,
my friend?
excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm with just Sean here. Josh already touched on a while ago that I think it's one of those things where it has to be like consensual that they are going to get roasted. Hell, even Tom Brady, when Tom Brady got roasted, he knew that it was coming, but like he still said in interviews that he regretted getting that roasted because they were starting making fun of his kids. That's him knowing in advance that they're going to get roasted.
No, he got real upset when they made fun of, was it Bill Belichick or one of the owners maybe? I forget.
Oh, Kraft?
He got real butthurt about it.
Oh, well.
They had to take it out of the special.
Yeah, so I think it's one of those things where I think the friends could have still had that surprise party, and then they maybe could have asked, like, hey, maybe next year, how would you feel if we do like a roast or some shit? Or, a circle of friends, like maybe we should have like a roast night where we all take jabs at each other. I think that should have been the approach, but kind of like what Sean is saying too, the fact that the party reacted that way, I think they were just chomping on the bits and fucking clown on your ass, and they just don't sound like good people to me.
And it's all different. Like if everyone was getting it, then we're all fucking laughing together. We're all getting fucking, roasted. One person roast,
it's tough.
For 20
unrelenting
minutes
for 20 minutes straight.
Well, they probably would have kept going if she didn't leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No,
1,000%.
Yeah, it's crazy they didn't tell her beforehand because it's just like, have none of you watched a roast before? Like, do you not understand the concept of like, like Sean said, you make fun of everyone, but then the roastee also gets up and has a prepared roast back to everyone else, and so it's like a back and forth.
Ready,
Yeah.
Just springing it on her is crazy. So yeah, you're not the asshole for leaving, and I would seriously reconsider those friends because that's not a reaction anyone should have to someone, reacting rightfully so to a roast at their birthday party.
And she didn't even make a scene or anything. She quietly just got out and be like, I am not taking this from anybody today.
Exactly. Reddit team, not the asshole. There's a relevant comment here. So Fairmont, 1955 said, not the asshole. It's ironic she wants to claim anything about being embarrassed. That none of your friends care the humor got stale and everyone continued to pile on rather than reflect. Well, are they even friends or do they even like you? To which OP responded and said, that's what's been messing with my head the most. Like, if this is their idea of fun or love, I'd honestly hate to see what their version of shade looks like. I kept thinking maybe I was being too sensitive, but the fact that not one person said, hey, maybe this is going too far, kind of says it all. It felt like I walked into a group chat where they've all been secretly roasting me for months and accidentally read the whole thing out loud. Still debating if I should fade out or hit them with a group message titled roast this and attach pictures of me on a solo spa weekend. I'd probably just fade out.
Yeah, because they will roast it, as you've seen. They'd be like, wow.
I would probably hit them.
With a car in a video game.
Allegedly.
All right, so there's an update the next day. So here's what happened since I posted. Jenna texted me, not to apologize, but to send me a meme that said, roasting is a love language with a laughing emoji.
Okay.
I left her on red because, girl, seriously? Later that night, one of the girls from the party, we'll call her Becca, DM'd me and said she thought I knew about the roast. She said Jenna told everyone I was down for it and even helped plan it.
Nah.
So that makes more sense from where the friends are coming from that were at the party. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If you think the person's down for it and then they get all butthurt about it, then it's one thing. I mean, you still did the roast
Jenna's
terribly.
Yeah, Jenna's like hella evil in this scenario.
Yeah, that's insane.
Withholding that information.
The only thing I, quote, planned was the white dress I wore while being emotionally shanked by 6 girls in fake Uggs. I explained to Becca that nope, I was blindsided. And she immediately apologized and said she felt really bad. She even said if she'd known, she would have never gone along with it. So that honestly made me feel a bit better. At least one of them has a soul. As for Jenna, radio silence since the meme. No apology, no, hey, I messed up, nothing. So I've decided I'm not going to chase people to value me. My new plan is I took a personal day, got myself a mini spa package, ate overpriced macarons, and spent the night with my cat binge watching The Bear while wearing a gold mask like I was healing from battle, because emotionally I kind of was. I realized that this whole thing has been kind of a weird gift. I got roasted, yes, but I also got clarity. I thought I had a solid group of friends. Turns out I had front row seats to my own roast hosted by people who think, quote, mean but make it Pinterest is a cute party idea. So yeah, next year it's just me, my cat, a pizza the size of a steering wheel, and 0 surprises. And you know what? That honestly sounds perfect. Thank you for validating my gut feeling. Y'all helped me feel seen.
Hell yeah. Happy ending.
Jenna's a mean girl.
Yeah. At least you got one friend that was like, oh shit, we fucked up. And maybe she'll tell the other friends and they'll realize as well.
Yeah.
Because from their point of view, they're probably like, this is a Michael Scott situation where he hypes it up and it's just like, yeah, I want to get roasted. And then as soon as he gets roasted, it gets buttered. So, yeah, I hope that's the case anyway. All right, let's move on to the second last one here. Posted by Dealing Mommy XY. Title for this one is, Am I the asshole for refusing to let my ex-husband's wife homeschool my children?
I mean, you have a say on your kid's education too, so that wouldn't make you an asshole.
Yeah, I guess so. I think if it's out of spite, then kind of asshole. Right?
Okay.
Wait, what's the title again?
Am I the asshole for letting my ex-husband's wife homeschool my kids?
Oh, for letting them homeschool.
Letting them.
Or refusing to let them.
Refusing.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I was right. If it's out of spite, then just because it's your ex-husband's ex, I think it's bad. But if it's like curriculum, then I think you're fine. I don't know.
I think I see where you're coming from. I personally wouldn't want my kids homeschooled, but that's just
same.
A me thing.
I'm like in between if I want to have my kid homeschooled, just because it's like
there's such a maybe in Texas that's maybe fair.
I mean, in all of America, that's
Yeah.
fair. I think
Red states I meant more often than anything, but there's a weird connotation around people who homeschool their kids where it's just like, are you homeschooling them because they're not vaccinated? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I never thought about that until the COVID stuff. To be honest,
Yeah.
I think the main drawback for like homeschool is like, oh, they don't know how to like. Sometimes the stereotype for me was always that they're not like socially, and they're not like as easily sociable.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just, I don't know. For me, I'm just like, but I'd rather my kid not be able to socialize or to be shot. So it's like sometimes I'm like, homeschool doesn't seem like a terrible idea.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just thinking about it from where I am.
Oh, okay.
My cousins were also homeschooled and they are not socially well adapted.
I just want, if that's going to be an issue, then, you know, or they might as well, like, as long as the person teaching is accredited and can teach, because
That's what I'm.
And has the time to do it.
has the time to do it. Because I'd hate for a kid to get robbed off of like a proper education or like the opportunity to, like, you know, be socially
And honestly,
adaptable.
it's just like, maybe this is shade to the U.S. education system. Is our education system even that great? And that's no shade to
true.
the teachers. That's to
No.
the fucking, I don't know.
What they're
I don't know.
forcing them to
There's
teach.
just so many things I wish I was taught more in school instead of the things I was taught.
For sure. Yeah. I get that. Yeah, I think this one will come down to, well, not the story, but homeschooling in general will come down to where you live.
For sure.
Because, personal choice with your children. We'll get into this story. Let's see if it has anything to do with the conversation we've just had.
Probably not.
All right. So 31 female, share 2 children, 9 male and 8 female, with my ex-husband, Aaron, 35 male. Aaron's cheating ended our marriage, and before long, he had moved in with Nicole, 34 female, and her children, 11, 10, 8, and 6. Aaron and Nicole have a 2-year-old together, and they're expecting another child. That's a lot of kids. Holy shit. So
It's my nightmare.
if OP's kids are also living there, that's
that 6?
5, 6, 7,
Oh, 7.
with 8 on the way.
Oh my God.
That's so many.
That's a lot.
Even before Aaron and Nicole met, she homeschooled her children. While my kids attend public school. This was mentioned as a problem before they were even married, but I ignored them. Now this has come up again, and they are being a thorn in my side about it. Nicole said it's unfair for her children to see mine go to school while hers do not.
All right, I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
She told me her kids have become jealous and it's causing issues for her parenting and for her and Aaron's family. I told her this was not my problem and she needed to figure out how to manage that, as that is the life of a blended family. Not everything will be the same or equal for kids from different marriages. Aaron asked me to homeschool a few times and I told him I would not entertain the idea. He even asked the kids who were worried when they came to me about it. They didn't want to leave their friends and their teachers and didn't want to stay home all day like Nicole's kids. I reassured them that I would not be saying yes to homeschooling for them. Now Nicole and Aaron are on a mission to make me agree to Nicole homeschooling my kids alongside hers. Apparently they had the 2-year-old started in some form of pre-K homeschooling, and they feel it's only fair for my kids to join in too. I said no. I even had my lawyer send their lawyer a letter officially stating my position on this. My lawyer also has documented everything.
Hell yeah.
They asked their lawyer to take this back to court and get a judge to overrule me, but their lawyer told them this would not go through in their favor. My ex was so unhappy about it, he told me all of this, and it gave me the chance to document this also. Now they're claiming I don't have a good reason to refuse other than to disrupt their home and to keep Nicole from playing a bigger role in the lives of my children.
I mean, that is a huge reason. I feel like that's the only reason that they freaking need.
Yeah. And to prevent siblings bonding between Nicole's kids in mind. I told them I have many reasons to say no and they just need to accept it. I've stopped replying after this. But since school ended for the summer, I have been inundated with pressure from them over this. They are worried that I'll send them to school in September as planned, which will happen. I feel like the kids wanting to go to school should also count, and I told Aaron this before. But am I the asshole for not willing to try? Is it really so hard to believe I just want my kids to attend school normally?
Hell nah. It's your fuck up, Aaron. You better fix that shit
That
your
is
own
the first comment I chose to.
self. You know what I'm talking about? It's like the kids, you know, the kids are already in school and they have their life. They have their set of friends. They have their set of teachers that they probably like. Why are you going to ruin that opportunity? And yes, I mean, I probably don't know the intricacies of a blended family, never had to experience it, but you know, why are you going to subject your kids to that when they clearly don't want it? So
yeah,
it's really annoying too when you've already said your piece. You're also the parent in the situation, and it's not your fault that Aaron here was the one that was sticking his peen elsewhere and ruining the family essentially.
Yeah.
So
who really ruined the family?
Who really ruined the family? It's his dumb. And I don't know. Did Nicole know that you're married and she's jumped into that too? Because I would go ass crazy on her too. But you're not the asshole in this situation. You're doing the right thing. I would go the extra step and be like, hey, go to my lawyer and say like, they're harassing the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And this is mad annoying.
Yeah, honestly, obviously not the asshole. I would also tell them like, hey, low key, I'm gonna have to fucking block y'all's asses if y'all keep bringing this shit up. My kids don't want to be. They cried to me at the thought of being homeschooled by you.
Literally.
So no, they're not gonna. They're gonna continue school like they always have. And you know that's it. I don't know why we have to keep having the same discussion over and over again. I feel like, you know, definitely what John said, get the lawyers involved even more, I think. So, yeah, fuck Ron and whatever her name is.
I will say it's also funny. It sounds like Nicole's kids also want to go to school.
No, they're begging.
Yeah.
They're fucking begging to go to school.
It's like, are you really doing your kids a favor by keeping them home?
Aaron and Nicole.
Yeah, Nicole. Like Sean said, there is reasons in specific areas. If you wanted to keep your own kids, that's fine, whatever. But to want to keep someone else's kids home as well is just because your kids also want to do what they're doing is crazy. It's either like be an adult and explain to your kids why they're going and why they're not,
Yeah.
Or if your kids really want to go to school, like they're 11, 10, and 8 and 6, like the 11, 10, and 8-year-old probably have enough autonomy to know what they want as well.
Yeah.
Like if they want to go to school, I think you're doing a disservice to them by not letting them do that.
The thing is, like, you could fucking enroll them, and then if they don't, if they're like, actually, this was a fucking mistake, I hate this place, then, you know, you could fucking get them back and do the homeschool thing. I feel like it's crazy to have the kids be like crying for it and then just be like, nah.
The only way to fix this is to make the other kids' lives worse.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Everyone must suffer.
Yeah. So, Reddit deemed not the asshole.
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan Valdez says, absolutely not the asshole. No thanks, AA Ron. I'm going to continue to trust the professionals over your current wife. Her comfort is not my concern.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Mission Delicious 3942 said, make sure to contact their school and make sure they know your kids will be attending. I can only think with what they have already done, what their next attempt will be. They might unenroll them and make it very annoying to get them enrolled again. Not the asshole.
I could see them doing some shit like that.
Some
they
petty
sound
shit,
mad
yeah,
annoying as
yeah.
a couple, yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely make sure the school knows, like, hey, my kids are definitely coming here. If someone other than me calls to unenroll them, don't not listen. Let that.
Yeah, my crazy ex-husband is trying to unenroll them.
Yeah. So, yeah, not the asshole, OP. I do not envy your position that you're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hope they don't do anything crazy. All right. Last one here, posted by Fluid Experience 866. And the title is, am I the asshole for telling my friend she's in the same league as the men she calls ugly?
Jesus Christ.
I will say this one was also a bit more controversial in the comments.
You know
I
what?
will say, how close are y'all? If y'all are like sibling close, you know, some talks need to be had. You know what I mean? But if y'all aren't that close, I don't think I could do that. But if Ryan and Chris were like, man, how come I can't get anybody at all? I'm like, because you're ugly, brother. I don't know what to say. And they'd do the same to me. So, but
I don't
other
even know
friends,
if you guys would truly do that. I think you might just be like, I don't know, what have you been trying? Like, I think you guys would have a conversation about it. You might roast probably a little bit.
We'd roast a little bit.
Yeah. But I don't think they'd roast your looks right off the bat.
I don't know. I get roasted for my looks all the time on this podcast.
What? That's not true.
Pepe.
Well,
I mean, that's
not us.
Everyone here sure enjoyed it. Me included, if I'm being kind of honest. It was funny. But yeah, I mean, I think if you're close, this is kind of like a brother talk or like a sister talk. If y'all aren't that close, but also if this is the only conversation you've had, then yeah, that's a rough one. I would say as a joke, it's funny. But as a earnest, you're ugly is tough.
Hey, if the friend is being a complete asshole and like demeaning everyone else and they're fucking ugly too, looking like a grenade looking ass, then yeah, I would say the same thing. So I will probably say not the asshole in this situation.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it just determines how sincere they're being, actually. But like John said, if they are being a little dickling about it.
Yeah, you'd give them a taste of their own medicine back.
Yeah.
That's fair.
You gotta. But even then, I don't think I'd call them ugly. I would just be like, you're a piece of shit. That's why nobody likes you.
You're ugly in the inside, also the outside.
There you go. Oh, well, you had me in the first half.
You're a 2 all around.
John might be OP. Yeah, this might be written.
John's friends are roasted on the daily.
Also, OP is male. They comment down in the comments about that, but just they don't say it in the post. Not that it super matters, but just so you know. Okay, so my friend, 19 female, downloaded dating apps like Tinder and Hinge for the first time about a week ago. For reference, she's the type that always says she wants a boyfriend, wants to do couples things, feels lonely, single, etc. She also, in my opinion at least, is very normal and average looks-wise. Not ugly, not super hot, just all right. Since then, crazy to talk about your friend that way in serious terms.
I think I am delusional because I call all my friends. I'm like, yeah, man, all y'all are fucking hot, dude.
Yeah.
We're all catches. I do it to you guys too. We're all very good looking, I think.
Well, I
But
mean,
then again, I just don't think anybody's truly ugly. Is probably my scale is only beautiful.
I mean, I want a poster of shirtless Josh in a freaking
hell yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, like a werewolf head, just like on top of my ceiling, just to look at first thing in the morning.
you guys might even take it to the extreme level the other way.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah.
Since then, she's been complaining to me that almost all the men on the apps are ugly, short, etc., and that she doesn't match with anybody hot. I asked to see which people she was calling ugly, and so she showed me her likes. And it mostly showed people perfectly in her league, as in moderately attractive guys. I told her that these guys were all in her league and that she should give some of them a chance, since she always complains and is wanting to be in a relationship. She denied that she's in the same league as them and says she's much more attractive than them. I pointed out that in her own words, she doesn't match with any of the guys she does find attractive, so she's not in their league. She said I was the asshole. So am I?
Ooh,
I don't know. Again, dating apps is tough. Where John and I are way out of touch there.
Scope,
It's just, I think the concept of leagues and like dating
But
based off
I feel like
looks,
that's all what the apps are.
but that is what the
unfortunately.
apps are. It's
That's
tough.
what the apps are, is leagues.
But like also people
unfortunately.
find different people beautiful, and like it's all like to say there's leagues is weird, because it's like, yeah, well, what someone's league might be different than your league. Also, there could be someone she finds attractive that you might think is out of her league. Like the concept is just hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah,
when it
the
gets to
league thing reminds me of like when I used to be in like a group of friends and they would like rank the girls that were also in the friend group on like level of attractiveness. I'd be like, what?
what in the
are y'all
MySpace top
doing,
8 is
bro?
this shit,
What
bro?
the hell?
What are y'all doing,
You
dude?
still hang out with those guys?
No, I do not. But it reminds me of that. Like the concept of leagues implies that there's rankings and ranks and everything. And it's just cool your jets, dude. Get to know people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
again, the concept of the app is
shallow.
looks
Yeah.
and shallow,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Again, maybe I'm wrong. That they exploded after I was already dating. So it's just, I don't know. It seems when it's strictly picture based and that's it, it sure seems like it's, unfortunately, that's what this kind of thing leads to.
Yeah. I don't think OP is necessarily calling. I mean, basically describe her.
I mean, both people. Is this everyone's the asshole?
I
thing?
think everyone sucks.
Because she's going around being like short, ugly, fat.
Yeah.
All right, cool it. So maybe he was just giving her a taste of her own
medicine.
But it sounds like he genuinely is like,
I
yeah,
think you're
you're
mid.
also
That's
mid.
exactly.
Like if it was like, oh yeah, my friend is awesome, she's a catch, blah blah blah. But she's roasting these people, so I had to take her down a peg.
that would be one
Okay,
thing.
that would be one thing. This is, yeah, my friend is fucking average as fuck, not hot. It's different when you know that they mean it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like hype your friend up, bro.
Yeah, I get that people have preferences, like, you're into a certain way or certain look. That's perfectly fine. I can see where the OP is just getting annoyed as fuck though, because it's like, oh, all you do is complain. All you do is complain that you can't get anybody, but then you're like here judging everyone, thinks they're ugly as shit or too short for you, yada yada. I get the sentiment where he's coming from, where it's like, you know what, maybe you should give people a chance. You never know what's gonna come out of that. But if he had just left it at
if he'd worded it that way, I'd be with you.
I think
then
he would've
we'd
been
be on his
fine.
side.
Yeah, I would have been on his side 100%, but I think he did go ham a little bit. Kind of like what you guys are saying. I'm also in a space where like I joke around about, I clown on my friends. I do try to hype them up as much as possible. But then when it comes down to it, I will fucking knock the shit out like so fast like that.
Yeah, you can roast your friends. That's fine.
Yeah, but it's one of those situations where I think if he had just carefully worded the way he say like, hey, just give people a chance and left it at that, he would have been perfectly fine. But I think he went a little overboard. So I am in the same kind of like everyone sucks in this scenario.
Yeah.
I think honestly, if he had said exactly what he said to her face, but didn't give all the
league
his
stuff.
true thoughts before.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
Then I would be like, okay, yeah, he's just some tough love. But no, he genuinely thinks she's mid, which is
yeah,
which is tough.
Like you said, if the first paragraph he was like, no, like I love my friend, she's like super interesting, super funny, like I think she's a catch for anyone. And then like, yeah, as you said, if you started complaining and roasting guys who didn't deserve it on this app, and then like correcting her, that's one thing that
that's fine. Yeah.
You're roasting a friend to teach them a lesson of like, hey, it's not nice to comment on someone's appearance, but it sounds like you're also just as shallow. So
yeah, that's what it is.
I don't feel great about what you said to her as well. So I think everyone sucks. I think that's kind of what everyone came down to. Like, it was very like either you're the asshole or there. I got 3 different comments here, so I'll read them all. So Royal Mushroom said, you're the asshole, but not like a horrible asshole. You just could have worded it better. People have types and find different things attractive. She's entitled to her opinion, and if that means she cuts off good potential matches, it's her loss.
That's what John said, essentially, yeah.
Yeah. I don't love how she's phrasing it, being like these people are ugly, but...
Oh, maybe I zoned out at that part.
I mean, I did go in on her too, even though like I was like, hey, I understand that you have a preference, but don't be saying that shit about people.
Yeah, and preferences are fine, but it's once you voice them and are like, yeah, these people are shit, look at them, and then like show it to someone. It's like, now you're roasting someone who doesn't deserve that.
I just feel like it's never good to be like a complete no because of a certain like look.
But that's what Tinder and
that I guess is the whole point of the app. Yeah.
Initial first like couple pictures of this person. What do you think? And it's a yes or no.
I'd have no shot in the world if I was in dating apps. You kidding me? I'm like filtered fucking hella crazy. Like shortest motherfucker in here.
I catfish people with pictures of Sean.
It must not work. All of John's photos, his legs are like 7 feet tall.
Hell
like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
He's photoshopped himself to be 6
but just the
5.
legs.
let me get my stool real quick. Let me stand up and then I'll take a picture next to somebody.
It's the fucking elongate on iPhone panoramic.
Yeah,
that would be fire. We should try to do that.
We should try it.
I feel like I'll just get wider. That's the bad
we look like Wemby. Oh, you just gotta go vertical. Just gotta go.
That's true.
No C1173 said not the asshole. Those apps have algorithms that track who likes you and adjust the options you're shown. So essentially an attractiveness algorithm. If she wants to be superficial in how she rates guys, then she needs to be able to handle the same standard. They then say they don't know what the algorithms exactly do, but that's an article they read. So I will say those apps are very manipulative. So just be, aware of that.
Let's not tie our self-worth to any app.
No, exactly.
It's probably is the message we'd like to say, probably.
And then Berserker Red said, everyone sucks here. Everyone has different tastes and preferences, and attractiveness is very subjective. You're both being judgmental. It does seem like she might need some humbling, but saying she's mid is probably not the best method of doing so.
Yeah, exactly right, dude.
Yeah, I think that one frames it perfectly, because it's just like, it's still your friend. You can correct them, but you don't have to be a dick about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That is it, Wikimaniacs. What did you think of today's episode? Let us know in the comments down below. If you want 2 bonus stories, check out our Patreon or YouTube membership. Patreon.com/Cultivate Podcast Network, or click the join button on our YouTube page. Get bonus stories a day early, ad-free episodes, as well as bonus episodes throughout the week. So go check that out. With that being said, we've got new merch.
Question mark?
Probably not yet. So still
Monday,
Gaycation.
it'll be there. It'll be there by Monday.
On Monday. So it's still Gaycation. You might have a couple more days to get that. Go check that out. All donations or all proceeds. Half the proceeds. Sorry, Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
Every single dollar.
We're going to need to have a conversation after this, Josh.
This is y'all's job. Y'all need a little bit.
Yeah, true. Half the proceeds will be going to the Trevor Project this month with the Gaycation merch. So go check that out. Get some cool designs there. With that being said, is there anything else before we close out the show, boys?
Bonus live stream with us 3 on Wednesday.
Yes, for Patreons.
Yes.
$10 tier.
Yes. $10 tier. Yes. There you
go. What? When this comes out?
The
July 4th?
The next Wednesday.
The Wednesday after, so July 9.
Oh, we have a Patreon one? Oh yeah, second Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday or second Wednesday of the month, buddy.
Yeah, second Wednesday. You're right. I will be there for sure. I
You
will be there. No need to question.
Also a
Even though
reminder
I
for
forgot.
Sean, so he knows to show up that day.
I'll set a reminder.
We might do a gaming thing too. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
Oh, like the like a pre-party beforehand?
Yeah, pre-party.
Oh, Steam sale is crazy right now, so maybe we should grab a bunch of shit.
There's
Oh yeah, I
a-
saw an email about that.
Yeah, there's a game called Peak that I really want to play with you guys. It looks really cool.
Oh yeah, and there are games that the Discord has been asking for us to
Yes. So
Okay.
keep an
down.
eye out for that. We might play an hour or so before we do the Patreon live stream. So check
Hell
that
yeah.
out.
do. Mm-hmm.
But with that, boys, thank you for coming on today and giving your takes. Wikimaniacs, thank you for another amazing episode. We'll see you on Monday. Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Get therapy.